before you like extend a hand.
Would you do that?
Oh, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna make your life better. Make sure they actually want a better life. Yes.
I would pair them up into a group project, make it a very big % of their mark, and then see how it goes.
Oh, okay. Pair up who? The person's really bad?
Yeah.
With someone really good?
Yeah. See how it goes.
What if they get greedy? Cause like you give them, now they're getting free marks. And so now they're not gonna work harder, cause then they're gonna just ask for some more marks. Then
Why are you always interrupting? Now I don't even remember what he said.
they're gonna get greedy. Like if you gave someone their marks, now they're not working hard, cause people are just giving them the free marks that they need.
That face, that's the face I made on the inside, but I can't show that because I have to remain neutral, right? This is wonderful. This is a good social experiment, okay? The reason why I say this is because, so they're on the political left, right? Sorry, this is your left. There are philosophies, economic systems that say like, hey, you wealthy person, you didn't work for your wealth or your property, so we should redistribute it to everyone, right? So this is what they did in Russia, right? They took the land from the wealthiest farming peasants who perhaps were wealthy because they could farm really well. The ideology, the belief system was that no, you're wealthy because you have some advantage, or you kind of stole this property. There should be no ownership of property. So they took their land, right, equivalent to their wealth, and they redistributed it to everyone else, which then led to mismanagement of land, which led to poor results, which led to starvation and death, right? And so it's always fun to play that little experiment with people's marks because people get really heated. And most of you come up with what are pretty traditional answers, and the responses I was giving is often kind of the comments made in response, right? Like, who mentioned there's services available, right? I think you mentioned, right? So typical response might be, well, oh, these people come from communities that are, historically have a bad relationship with XYZ services, right? So how many of you heard of like defund the police? It's a very privileged idea, right? To be like, oh, the police are terrible, we should defund them. We should have less police officers. But who does that affect the most? Some of the communities that the people saying defund the police say that they're trying to help, right? So for example, people in America might say, well, police are racist, which statistically from the data is not true. Plenty of white people get shot by the cops in America as well, it just doesn't get reported. So they might say, well, the police are racist, as proven by all these horrible situations in America where a white officer ended up killing a black individual, usually a male. We should defund the police because police end up harming minority communities. And what does that result in? Well, many of those minority communities are then most heavily impacted, right? The reason why I bring this up is not about redistribution, but it's the same set of ideas on the left. So this idea that you take stuff from people who have, give it to people who don't have because there's some reason that they don't have it, right? And there might be some historically very legitimate reasons that some communities have issues, right? So for example, in many indigenous people, what?
I did say it was hard.
I know, but I started feeling it now. What did you say earlier? Did you say, what are we talking about?
No, that was me.
Who was it?
That was me.
So you're just confused.
I was like confused with like what you said. Because we were just talking about marks. Like we talk about marks and now we're on like talking about race, like groups of people doing things that like would be.
Okay, so think of marks as currency, as your money. Do you need to go to the washroom? Go ahead. Okay? Because how many of you have more than like $300? A couple of you. Okay. How many have more than $1,000? Then so many people raise their hand. Okay. Perfect, right? Like those of you with more money, should we take your money and share it with?
No.
Yes, we should.
But oh, there we go. Now, right? Now I found something you kids want.
I'm not buying your baby. Come on.
Come on, man, I'm broke.
Get it. Whoa.
Right? So the connection is there are many reasons why a group of people might have better marks, more money, more land, right? In terms of the police scenario, there might be many reasons why the media would report on American police killing a black male suspect rather than reporting on a white male suspect, which has been documented. They do tend to report them less, right? But those results, like, what are the impacts of those results, right? So if you were to take the money from the kids who have it, right? And I think in your situation, I'm particularly aware, like, from what I've heard, you're pretty good with your money.
Me?
Yeah.
Like my race or just me?
Why would you assume race? Oh my God. Like you specifically. Yeah.
I am great.
How do you earn money? How do you earn money?
You spend money.
My daddy?
But you babysit, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So you get paid through babysitting.
Sure.
Do you save money?
Yeah, her dad.
Yeah.
So okay, so her first response might be relating to the arguments I was making about why some kids have better grades, right? It's like, oh, you have a lot of money. Well, how did you get that? Oh, my parents gave it to me, right?
I got grandma, parents.
Or grandparents, right? Dad, right? I don't know what this whole debate on parents and dad is, but okay.
Yeah, see? That's not me.
So Milton Friedman, coming back to the main point here, we should just wrap this up since people are getting a little lost. Milton Friedman here is very, yeah, we're still on this page, is very against redistributing things for arbitrary reasons. Do you understand what the word arbitrary means?
Hold on.
Bro, we should shave his head one day, hey?
Here, would you give Julius 10% of your mark?
I have Mark.
Your paycheck.
Yeah,
For someone who deserves
If
it.
he did 10% of my work, he might have
Him
money.
or someone who's trying to be successful.
But this is a question for you, right?
True.
Like, I already have my ideas on these.
What would you say?
Why does that matter?
Why does that
What
matter?
what would you say?
Why do our
What's up?
why do our answers matter?
That's a wonderful question because you have young developing minds, right? You still need to learn how to.
Yours is fully owned, so it's
You still need to learn the skill of how to think and how to express what you think. You did it beautifully before, and look at you arguing. Look at you arguing your point.
I'm not arguing.
How about this? We'll choose a completely arbitrary method
I don't know what
of. Okay, actually, I asked. Nobody answered. Is it? We all know what arbitrary means. Arbitrary, like more or less, it kind of just means random. Okay. So we'll just pick a completely random method to select whether or not I give my ideas. Okay. We'll play rock paper scissors. That's the one. Okay. Rock paper scissors shoot.
I win.
No way. How did he win? Okay. What was your question?
My question was, how do you think about this?
No, you got to be more specific. You articulate
Would
yourself, young man.
you give 10% of your paycheck to a homeless person?
Would I give 10% of my paycheck
To a homeless
to
person that is not, that
I
is
like the
not
same question
producing
you asked
income as well as you are?
The same question you asked us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same question you asked.
No, because he's
I wouldn't give 10%, but I do donate money to charity every month.
Oh.
Yeah, every
Is that
month.
going on YouTube?
Oh, I'm going on YouTube. We're gonna clip it. We're gonna put a good,
That's going on Mr.
What a
Kawhi
great guy.
No, I talk about this in my budgeting 101 video as well, but every month I just have it automatically sent out, so I don't have to think about it. Part of that comes from my, like, the way I was raised. Part of that comes from my religious beliefs as well, that, you know, you should give back from what God gave you. You know, so I consider myself very fortunate, very blessed to, you know, have this job to earn as much as I do. So I give back. Do I give 10%? No. I used to, actually, to my mosque. I used to give more. Yeah. But
Wait, what? Why do you like pay
Hmm?
Your boss?
My mosque. My mosque. No, why would I give 10% back to my boss? That would be
You get the
absurd.
refund.
Yeah. Yeah, it's useful. It's from a religious perspective, and since we're at a Catholic school, we can talk about that. There is a role to be played for charity, right? for let's say kindness and empathy through charity. But the kind of argument I was making is that a lot of times that can be weaponized, right? It's like, oh well, why? Well, like, think of this person who's struggling. Like, you have all these advantages and privileges that they don't have. Like, you should give some of what you have to them. And not you should give it. We'll take it from you and we'll give it to them because you're not deserving of it for whatever reason, right? That's kind of the argument being made that Milton Friedman's against, very against. So is Thomas Sowell, my hero, over there, that handsome black man over on the left. Okay. Why, oh gosh, you're saying black men can't be handsome? That's so messed up.
It was so
The handsome black man on the left.
That's also going on YouTube. What's up?
I was wondering if we could do like divide the class one day and just have like a
And then
big
fight,
debate.
just have a debate.
Yeah, like about the social thing could be social thing. Just like,
Hey, if you guys have topics, I already have like a format made. I actually made this with Mr. Kenny. Yeah.
we do like a team competition.
like a debate.
Sure, and the winners get a crisp, clean high five from
Yeah.
yours truly.
And a 10%.
Okay. We totally. If you guys have topics, we could spend the class doing that because it's very fun. And I know you kids are just so creatively looking for ways to get out of class and get out of this life. Okay. That you earlier said, oh my God, we're still on the same slide. We are on the same slide.
We could set up some parliament setup.
And then we take this, we go overthrow the government, right, kids?
Yeah.
And we install me as the supreme leader.
Or we like defend a
Thank you. Okay, all I needed to hear was the confirmation.
I agree.
Okay. Hey, some other things Milton Friedman's against is progressive taxation. So as you earn more money, more of your income gets taxed at a higher